This is a video for our favorite game, Ticket to Ride. This is the original board, so this is the US board with the US cities on it. At the start of the game, you will have your piece, which you would then put on the 100 to start, and you would get your trains. All right, now there are 45 trains in a bag. The game also comes with extra trains. We play with all of them, but you can decide whether you're going to do that or not. At the start of the game, these are train tickets, and I'll explain what this means in a second. But they come in all different colors, and that is the color track that you need to have to go from city to city. Now, the gray tracks, you can have any color, but it has to be a matching. If it's 2 cars, then you need 2 greens or 2 pinks, whatever. All right, you will also, when we start the game, this is a change that in terms of how we play as well. I think in the original game, you start with 5 of these cards in your hand and you don't show anybody your hand. We do 7 just to save on game playing time. You also will get 3 destination tickets. So 1, 2, 3. So when you're looking at your destinations and you don't want to show anybody your destinations, keep this private to you. The bottom circle will tell you how much that route is going to give you in terms of points at the end of the game. One change that we do to this also is I make 2 separate piles, and I put all of the trains, all of the destinations rather, that are 13 points and up. I put them in one pile, and we get to pick one of those. And then I put all the under 13 point value destination cards in another pile, and we each pick 2 of those. You can play however you want. We just find that it kind of evens out the game because it really does come down to the destinations that you complete sometimes. So in this case, we have San Francisco to Atlanta, Portland to Phoenix, and then LA to Miami. Now you're trying to look and see on the board, how can I do this in one consecutive long train? Because the longest train gets 10 extra points, and sometimes that can definitely win it for you in the end. So if this were me, I would go from Portland down to San Francisco, down to LA, over to Phoenix, and then from Phoenix over to Atlanta, and then down to Miami, because that would complete all of these 3 routes. All right, and hopefully we have enough trains to do that. Train cars, those. All right, so at the start of play, you would decide, are you gonna keep all 3 of these or are you gonna give one back? You do have to keep 2 cards. So you can, let's say I didn't think I was gonna be able to complete this one, so I can give that back. That is totally fine. If you decide later on in the middle of play, oh gosh, I'm not gonna be able to complete this, you would have to take a turn to give that back to the dealer, or else really you're supposed to deduct points at the end for any train routes that you did not complete if you did not give it back. All right, so let's say that I'm keeping all of them. The first several times that it's your turn, you are probably going to be collecting these train cards, all right? Because let's say that we were gonna do that Portland to San Francisco. Well, I need 5 pinks or 5 greens to complete that track, all right? So I would pick the pink, flip it over. This is another change. Ooh, rainbow. All right, rainbow cards are worth any color. So I'll take that, and I'll take the other pink. So this is what I would have in my hand with my other cards that I started out with at the beginning. So that's a good thing. Once I have 5 pinks, I'm going to turn those in when it's my turn. All right, you either collect train cards or you place trains down. All right, you can't do both on a turn. You have to do one or the other. But once I set these down, let's say that I had 2 others. Addie, find me 2 more pinks or rainbows. I'm gonna take my trains, and if I was the green person, oh goodness sakes. Okay. Did you find it? Oh, give me that rainbow. Thank you, dear. All right, so let's say it gets to my turn and I have these 5 in my hand. So instead of picking up train cards like this, I'm gonna say, all right, I'm gonna play. So I'm gonna turn these into a discard pile, and I'm going to then place my trains on that track and give myself some points. So for 5 trains, and it says it on your board right here, for 5 trains, you get 10 points. So if this was my first move, then I'm gonna move my green guy to 10, and so on. So it's really easy. You just take turns going person to person, and you're either getting train cards to add to your hand, or you are actually putting down trains and getting points for that. At the end, point values. You take these points, so let's say I had 10 points, all right, at the end of the game, which that'd be really sad. But I completed my destinations, so I would add 20 points to that, and then another 17 to that, and then an 11 to that. Now, if I have the longest consecutive train, I also would add 10 points to my score. If I didn't complete one of these destinations, then yes, you are supposed to deduct those points. All right, I hope that this helps, and let me know if you have any questions.